Hey guys, I'm Yasmin, founder of Grassi. This is my sister Amber, and today we're just going to make a short video about coconut oil. So far at Grassi we haven't been very vocal about any nutrition opinions. We just concentrate on serving wholesome plant-based meals and we leave the rest to you guys. But there's so much knowledge on the internet, so many different perspectives, and it can get very overwhelming and confusing. So we just thought that we'd share our knowledge and our opinion. Food is very controversial. We're not saying that we're experts in the subject matter, but we're just sharing our knowledge and our experience after being plant-based for about 7 years. Amber has just graduated from nutrition and she's studying for a live vegan master's in nutrition with Dr. Cousins in America. So she has a bit more knowledge about the actual details of nutrition. But anyway, as I said, this week the BBC posted this article claiming that coconut oil is as unhealthy as beef fat. And we just want to go into that today. So, coconut oil, unhealthy as beef. Your comments, please.
So I think the most interesting thing about all of this sort of controversial information that's come up this week is that the study that was carried out on saturated fats was mostly focusing on animal products, because of all the saturated fats that we eat, most of those are coming from animal products. So it was really focusing on that, and it just sort of mentioned coconut oil in a few lines just as a sort of side note. And yet it was the coconut oil that really grabbed the attention of the media and health enthusiasts and so on. But really what was the point of the study was to bring our attention to the fact that we're just eating too many saturated fats in general. So I think the key, especially for those who are eating plant-based already, is that we actually need to eat all kinds of fats. We need a bit of saturated fat. The problem with cardiovascular diseases is that we tend to be eating too many saturated fats, but some we need. And since in the plant world saturated fats are actually quite rare, for vegans they're going to need to actually eat just a bit of coconut oil and other plant saturated fats such as cacao, to keep their body in balance, to keep their body making the cholesterol that they need, and so on. So really our focus needs to be on reducing the excessive saturated fat intake from animal products, rather than continue eating animal products and then cut out the coconut oil that you very rarely consume. It doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah.
And as I already said, for those who are already eating plant-based, it's just not really an issue that we need to be focusing on.
Amazing, thank you. Maybe just to mention a little bit about sort of previously the kind of status quo was that coconut oil actually is good for your cholesterol because of the LDL, the effect on the LDL cholesterol. Maybe you can just explain a bit about that and why this study created so much waves.
Yeah. So basically, what we know of as HDL and LDL cholesterol are not actually types of cholesterol, but types of protein that carry fats through the bloodstream. LDL carries unhealthy fats and HDL carries healthy fats, which is why it's good to have high HDL and a low LDL. Now, so far most of the studies involving coconut oil have shown that it increases HDL and it decreases LDL, which is exactly what we're after. So the reason this study has been so controversial is that it seems to imply the opposite. But I think before we rush to conclusions and start making radical changes involving coconut oil, we need to just make sure we do enough research. If there are two studies that imply opposite things, it's hard to come to a conclusion. We need time, we need more studies, more research before we can really decide whether it's good or not.
So, at the end of the day, eating a whole food, plant-based diet is always going to be healthier than eating a diet very high in saturated fats coming from meat and dairy. Recently there was also a very interesting documentary called What the Health. I really encourage you to listen to it, watch it. Some very interesting articles exactly about this issue, about the saturated fats, even linking it to problems beyond just cardiovascular disease, but even going to things like diabetes. If you guys want to be pointed in the way of some other resources, just comment, send us a message on our Facebook page, and we'll be happy to share the information that has inspired us. We are going to be making more of these videos on different subject matters, so if you'd like us to go into something specific that you're struggling with in nutrition, just again get in touch with us and we'll share our knowledge on that subject. Thanks for listening, guys, and see you soon at Grassy for a nice, wholesome, happy plant-based meal.